Last time you were on America's Got Talent, you were 10 years old.
Yes.
How old are you now?
I'm 18 now.
When a 10-year-old girl in a bright pink frilly dress walked onto the America's Got Talent stage in 2010, nobody could have predicted that her angelic opera voice would launch a career filled with platinum albums, a presidential inauguration, devastating personal struggles, and one of the most remarkable transformations in talent show history. What happened to Jackie Evancho after she became America's youngest opera sensation will leave you speechless, and her journey from that innocent child star to the woman she is today is nothing short of extraordinary. Jackie Evancho didn't just appear on America's Got Talent out of nowhere. This Pittsburgh native had already been rejected twice by AGT producers during in-person auditions in Philadelphia before season 5. But Jackie's father, Mike, discovered something that would change everything. The show was accepting YouTube auditions. The family decided to upload a video of Jackie singing Panis Angelicus and then forgot about it. What happened next was the beginning of a phenomenon. Viewers voted her performance to the top, earning her a spot directly into the quarterfinals. Jackie's journey to the AG stage began just 2 years earlier when her family saw Phantom of the Opera in theaters. At only 8 years old, something awakened inside her. She started singing songs around the house. And during her first Little Talent competition, her grandparents looked at each other in disbelief as this tiny girl's enormous voice filled the room. The crowd's reaction told her parents everything they needed to know. Their daughter possessed something truly special. Join us as we tell you what really happened to Jackie Evancho from America's Got Talent. The auditorium lights dim as a small girl in that unforgettable bright pink dress steps onto the massive AGT stage. At just 10 years old, Jackie Evancho looks impossibly young standing before judges Piers Morgan, Sharon Osbourne, and Howie Mandel. The audience buzzes with anticipation, but there's also skepticism written across some faces. What could this child possibly do that would rival the other acts competing for America's votes? Jackie stands at the microphone, and years later she would reveal the truth. About that moment, she was shaking like a leaf, terrified beyond measure. But then something magical happened. The opening notes of O mio Babino Caro from the opera Gianni Schicchi begin to play, and Jackie opens her mouth. The sound that emerges is absolutely breathtaking. This isn't a child's voice. This is the rich, controlled soprano of an operatic master. Someone who should have decades of training and experience. The aria flows from her with graceful phrasing, a controlled slow vibrato, and a tone that resonates like a bell through the entire theater. Audience members' jaws drop. Some people gasp audibly. Others immediately tear up, unable to believe what they're witnessing. Jackie herself would later describe the experience in her own words. Everything went black, and she felt possessed by the music. Her voice was shaking slightly from nerves, but the performance was flawless. As the final note hangs in the air, the response is instantaneous and overwhelming. All 3 judges leap to their feet in a standing ovation. The audience erupts in thunderous applause that seems to shake the building. Piers Morgan stands there with his mouth open in complete shock. Sharon Osbourne has tears streaming down her face, but it's Howie Mandel who captures the moment perfectly. Leaning forward with genuine emotion in his voice, he tells Jackie something she'll never forget. We were going to do this show, and we all said at the beginning, it's kind of scary, and all we want to do is find that one moment, that one gem, that one star, from a place we've never looked before in America's Got Talent, and you know what? This is the moment. You're the star. Piers Morgan adds his own praise, calling it one of the most extraordinary performances he's ever witnessed on America's Got Talent. The judges' enthusiasm is matched by the response on social media and YouTube, where the video of her audition begins racking up millions of views. People can't stop talking about the little girl with the big voice. Some viewers even question whether she could possibly be singing live. The performance seems too perfect for someone so young. During her next appearance, Jackie has to perform an impromptu vocal exercise to prove to skeptics that yes, this is really her voice, and yes, it's completely real. The journey has only just begun, but Jackie Evancho has already become a household name. But the journey was far from over, and what came next would test Jackie in ways she never imagined. Nobody knew what Jackie was going through behind the scenes. While America fell in love with the adorable opera prodigy, Jackie was beginning to struggle with the immense pressure of sudden fame. At just 10 years old, she was thrust into a world of recording contracts, media appearances, and constant scrutiny. The pressure to be perfect, to always be that cute little blonde girl who sang opera, began to weigh on her in ways that wouldn't become clear for years. People wanted her to stay frozen in time as that innocent child in the pink dress, but Jackie was growing up, changing, evolving. The expectation to remain everyone's granddaughter, as she would later describe it, became suffocating. By the time Jackie turned 15, she had developed anorexia. It started innocently enough. She looked at herself and thought she looked bigger. When she asked her mother if she looked fat, her mom reassured her it was just baby fat. But Jackie decided to start mildly dieting and working out regularly. What began as a simple decision spiraled into something devastating. She started going days without eating. In her head, she knew it wasn't normal, but she felt exhausted, moody, and tearful. Then, after a bit of time, she stopped feeling anything at all. The eating disorder stole her emotions, her energy, and eventually her health. In January 2021, Jackie was involved in a car accident. It should have been relatively minor, but when doctors examined her, they discovered something alarming. She had broken her back in 2 places. And the breaks were abnormal, like what you'd see in an 80-year-old woman with severe osteoporosis. That's when the devastating truth emerged. Her eating disorder had caused osteoporosis at just 20 years old. Her bones had become dangerously fragile. The accident became a wake-up call that quite literally saved her life. Jackie enrolled in an inpatient treatment facility and began the long, difficult process of recovery. She started seeing a therapist and opening up about her struggles. While she still battles with her eating disorder today, she's moving forward with a new determination to live life for herself, not for the 10-year-old version of Jackie that the world wanted her to be. The backlash hit Jackie from an entirely unexpected direction in 2017. When she was asked to sing the national anthem at President Donald Trump's inauguration, she saw it as an honor. A chance to have her name go down in history alongside everyone who had performed at inaugurations before. She didn't see it as political at all, but the internet had other ideas, and the response was vicious and immediate. Critics slammed her on social media with brutal comments. Some said it was career suicide. Others called her a traitor. And the attacks became especially cruel because Jackie has a transgender sister, Juliet. People accused her of choosing Trump over family, claiming she was betraying her own sister by performing for an administration with controversial LGBTQ policies. The comments grew meaner and more personal. Trolls wrote that no record label would ever touch her again, that she was tainted by Trump, and that this would be all anyone would ever remember about her. Juliet herself became a target of cyberbullying, with people questioning how Jackie could perform when her sister was transgender. It broke Juliet's heart to watch her younger sister endure such hatred. Jackie maintained throughout the controversy that her performance was apolitical, that she was doing it for her country, not for any political party. She even reached out to Trump afterward, tweeting that he had given her the honor of singing at his inauguration and asking him to give her and her sister the honor of meeting to discuss transgender rights. The entire experience taught Jackie a painful lesson about staying true to her opinions even when the world is screaming at you to back down. Years later, she would reflect on the experience with more wisdom, understanding that while the backlash hurt, she was proud of her decision and grateful for the historical moment, even if it came at a personal cost. It was during her return to the AGT stage in 2019 for America's Got Talent. The champions that Jackie Evancho truly silenced her critics and showed the world how much she had grown. 8 years had passed since that little girl in the pink dress stunned the judges. Now 18 years old, Jackie walked onto the stage with the poise and confidence of a seasoned performer. Howie Mandel, who had been there for her original run, welcomed her back with genuine excitement. The audience's anticipation was palpable. Could she still deliver that magic? Jackie chose music of the night from The Phantom of the Opera, the very show that had inspired her to sing all those years ago. As the familiar melody began, something extraordinary happened. Her voice had matured, deepened, and become even more powerful. She delivered the song with graceful phrasing and emotional depth that gave everyone chills. The high notes soared effortlessly, her chest voice resonated with power, and her head voice hit the highest register with perfect intonation and purity. The audience members stood with their phones raised, recording every moment, many with tears in their eyes. Simon Cowell, who hadn't been a judge during her original season, was visibly impressed. He stood and applauded, telling Jackie something remarkable. Most child performers lose their talent as they grow older, but she had actually gotten better with time. All 4 judges rose to their feet in a standing ovation. The performance was everything fans had hoped for and more. Social media exploded with praise. Twitter users called it one of the best performances of the season. Instagram comments flooded in with predictions that she would win the entire competition. People who had watched her as a child were amazed at how she had blossomed into an even more incredible artist. Though Jackie didn't advance past the preliminary round of the champions, losing to a dance group, the performance proved something far more important. Jackie Evancho was no longer just America's favorite child opera singer. She had become a genuine artist in her own right. Someone who had earned respect not because of novelty, but because of undeniable talent and dedication to her craft. Jackie Evancho finished America's Got Talent Season 5 as the runner-up, losing to singer Michael Grimm in a result that shocked many viewers and even surprised Grimm himself. Up to 16 million people watched the finale, making it the highest-rated ACT episode in 3 years. But losing the competition turned out to be just the beginning of something much bigger. Within weeks, Jackie signed a record deal with Psycho Music and Columbia Records. Her first major label release, the EPO Holy Night, became a phenomenon. It sold over 1 million copies and became the year's #1 best-selling debut recording. Jackie became the youngest solo artist to debut in the top 2 of the Billboard 200 and the top-selling debut artist of 2010. She was just 10 years old. Over the following years, Jackie released 6 full-length albums, all of which reached #1 on the U.S. Classical Albums chart. Dream With Me, produced by legendary producer David Foster, debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold. She became the youngest artist ever to debut in the UK's top 5. Her albums included everything from classical arias to covers of movie soundtracks to original songs. In 2022, she released Carousel of Time, a tribute album covering 10 iconic Joni Mitchell songs, showing her artistic evolution and willingness to push boundaries. But perhaps the most significant evolution came in 2024 when Jackie released Solo, an EP of entirely original pop music that she wrote herself and co-produced with Greg Camp. The sound has an 80s new wave feel, a complete departure from the classical music that made her famous. Singles like Behind My Eyes, Get Out of My Life, and Consequences showcase a mature artist finding her own voice and expressing her own experiences. When she performed Behind My Eyes on Good Morning America in January 2024, critics praised it as featuring her prettiest vocals yet. The song climbed to #22 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. Today, at 25 years old, Jackie splits her time between New York City and Pittsburgh. She continues to perform concerts, including opening for Echosmith on their Cool Kids Tour in late 2024, and performing with the San Francisco Symphony during the holidays. She's appeared on The Masked Singer, where she finished 5th place as the Kitty. She's performed duets with Andrea Bocelli and his son Matteo Bocelli that critics have called operatic masterpieces. With an estimated net worth of $4 million, she's achieved financial success while maintaining her artistic integrity. But beyond the albums and concerts, Jackie has become an advocate for causes close to her heart. She openly supports transgender rights alongside her sister Juliet, who successfully fought her school district's policy preventing transgender students from using bathrooms that match their gender identity. Jackie talks candidly about her mental health struggles, including her ongoing recovery from anorexia and her osteoporosis diagnosis. She wants people to know that even while struggling, you can't give up on trying to achieve happiness in life. Jackie's message to her fans is powerful and authentic. She's sick and tired of feeling like she's living her life for 10-year-old Jackie instead of herself. She's embracing who she is now, even if it means losing fans who only wanted that cute little opera singer. As she puts it, there's no point in doing what she loves if people don't get to know her for who she really is. She's moved forward with the idea of, in her own words, saying EFF it to the pressure and expectation. Jackie Evancho's journey from that terrified 10-year-old girl shaking like a leaf on the AGT stage to the confident, authentic woman she is today represents one of the most remarkable transformations in talent show history. She proved that real talent combined with determination, vulnerability, and the courage to evolve can overcome any obstacle. Whether it's losing a competition, facing vicious backlash, battling devastating health issues, or simply growing up in the public eye. Jackie refused to let fame define her, refused to stay frozen as a child star, and refused to give up on her dreams even when the pressure became unbearable. She's still making music, still performing, still fighting for the causes she believes in, and most importantly, still being herself. What do you think about Jackie Evancho's incredible journey from child opera prodigy to authentic artist and mental health advocate? Let us know in the comments below. Which talent show contestant should we cover next? Drop your suggestions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another inspiring story like this one. As for Jackie Evancho, her story is far from over. With new music on the horizon, concerts scheduled, and a commitment to living life on her own terms, we can't wait to see what this remarkable artist accomplishes next. The little girl in the pink dress has grown into a force to be reckoned with, and her transformation reminds us all that the most beautiful music comes from those brave enough to be themselves.